Hey guys, Thrift Store Hacker back again, and we did some work on the electric trike. The voltage controller that we had in here with the original Instructable, though pushed the motor, it would blow out the controller if you were, say, climbing a hill or just maxed out the motor. It just couldn't handle the amperage because it was a pretty cheap board. So I decided it was time to do a full rewire on this, and we have both our batteries here, and we connect them in a 24 volt configuration. So this wire goes up here, and then we have the other wire for the one over here. And the wire is it's not as thick gauge as it looks. It's just really well insulated and fits right into the back of these yellow connectors. Off of one of the electric wheelchairs, I pulled this circuit breaker, so it'll trip at 50 amps, which the board here is rated at 60 amps. So I'll take the top off. I put this CPU fan, or computer case fan on here so it doesn't overheat. As you can see, it's a much bigger board, many more MOSFETs, or those things. Heat sinks on each of them. And you have your inputs for the battery, outputs for the motor. And then this thermostat wire right here goes all the way up to the front of the bike. And I rewired all the way up to the front of the bike here, so we have the switch right here and a variable speed control. And on top of that, we have our 12 volt system. And if you can tell, this is just like a little, use them once or throw them away containers. I think lunch meat came in this one. But hey, if you can get a couple extra uses out of it, by all means. We have our 12 volt system. You can see the battery hiding down there. And that whole nest of wire down there, all the small wires, that's our 12 volt system. And I'll kick that on. So you can see it runs cooling fan here. And you can hear it. You might be able to see it a little bit there under the motor. But there's a cooling fan down there that blows cool air from the outside up into the bay here. And then this has a bunch of holes on the sides here, on the bottom. And this right here keeps it nice and cool. The motor gets really hot, but that's kind of expected. I got a lot of weight on it. I took it on a ride today over to my friend's house. It was 8 miles out there and 8 miles back. And it made the full run. Didn't have any issues. The bike did really well. I did have to tighten up the chain here a bit because it was jumping. But yeah, for its first ride after a full rewire and stuff, it worked great. So I'll do a video of this out and running around. And so you can see we have the 2 back lights there, and then my vintage LED up front here. It's an old vintage bike light that I converted to LED. The only thing that I need to do still on this is probably on this lead right here. I need to put a big power switch so I can shut the bike controller off and stuff, because the bike will still run without the 12 volt system turned on, because this is the switch right here, which I need to embed in the back here. And then it'll be good to go. And hopefully we get some really good mileage out of this. I mean, I did 16 miles today on that charge, and it still had more than enough battery left over. So I think we're going to have to take this and max it out too. But that's it for today, and there'll be a bunch of new projects coming soon.